Ayn Rand wrote a book called The New Left, the Anti-Industrial Revolution, which is a chapter called Comprachus. The Comprachus were a tribe which existed in ancient times, who had this thing of distorting human beings. They stunt children's growth, they make them fat, weird, so that they can be laughed at in sideshows by the people. She wrote the modern day Comprachus are much more sophisticated because they don't distort the body, they distort the mind. Which pretty much I feel is what the media of today is doing. The whole point, I'm not here to preach or what should be the responsibility of whoever, that is not at all my calling, But I thought the least, when the media is serving as a bridge to what's happening in the government, how the government is dealing with things, how the various trusted agencies are doing, to constantly inform the people of the progress and the truth. Yes, it's a very, very important and necessary thing, especially in a democracy, which nobody is going to debate. But is it what that the media is really doing? In the case of Rhea Chakraborty, I am shocked in terms of, it goes without saying that nobody is going to debate this matter, that the whole point of the justice system is if there's an allegation, even by a so-called agency, an authorized agency like the police, to be provided with proof and in a systematic process, the courts deciding eventually whether someone is guilty or not, is the whole point of any kind of a civilized system. And in the case of Rhea Chakraborty, I don't know if anyone really cares whether she is guilty or not. And day in and day out of badgering her, showing her having her slow motion shots with background score and with red circles around her to make it look like she's a witch or she's a murderer, she's a killer. I just don't get it. If at all anybody without any proper investigation can do something minute by minute and not even minute, probably second by second, that is how the media seems to be covering it. And if you're going to prejudging everyone without any evidence, which evidence as admissible by court in the process I'm talking about, and if you're pronouncing judgments on people's character, people's background, people's intentions, then what is the point of having a justice system? I fail to understand. I don't think there's any difference between when we hear it happens in interiors of the country, when someone is accused of being a witch and they hunt the witch down and they probably burn her at the stakes or they will stone her to death. I don't think there's any difference between that when we get horrified to hear such incidents and what the media is actually doing to Rhea Chakraborty. She's actually being hunted like a witch. I think there at least still it's recognized as a crime, so there's a chance that the perpetrators could be punished at some time. Here it can't be done because here it is being done in plain sight by sophisticated people and from prime channels. They are doing a witch hunt. And just in the name of, I don't know what to call it, and to get away by saying anything and everything about a person without any proof, and they talk that this agency has come, she siphoned off this much of money, she's a murderer. Any civilized society, even if the police agency calls it a murder, the media always, responsible media, will say it alleged murder because it is yet to be proven, the allegation. Here the agency is saying it's suicide and Arnab directly calls it murder. So the point, I'm the last person to want to have a check on the media because that can be misused probably even more by other concerned parties or agencies. But at the same time, I feel it's unimaginably insensitive to hunt a person down without knowing anything concrete about it. Yes, it's highly possible she's a witch, highly possible she's a murderer, highly possible she gave poison. I am okay with anything, but it's only after it is proven by unauthorized agency. How can you say it now? How can you make such blatant allegations and assassinate and hunt down and cut her to pieces without any of that? Yeah? I find even the aspect of Bollywood being so shit scared. I mean, I'm ashamed of you, my fellow colleagues in Bollywood, that what a single one of you can open your mouth and speak what you're feeling. You privately message congratulating me on my tweets and what I'm speaking. How can you not have the guts to really come out and talk? If they have the right or if they have the freedom to talk, you too have their freedom. Freedom is not any one single person's property. It belongs to everybody as long as they're living in a democratic country, and you should express your freedom, you should express your thoughts, you should express as loudly and as clearly. Now I've known many people who talk to me, not even from the film industry, and they all believe that Rhea has done something. Rhea is a murderer, Rhea is this, Rhea is that. Why? Because like Joseph Goebbels said that if a lie is repeatedly told again and again in the loudest way possible, it becomes the truth. Then they start believing it's the truth. Now you have people investigating. Forget the Bombay police, forget the CBI. Everyone became a detective thanks to the media. Because they're tuning, they're imitating the media of what is done, and someone talks about ligature marks, someone wants to talk about this, someone says, how did she do this 15 crore transfer? Do you know anything about it except for what you heard from some uninformed people? And if at all we take what the media is seeing as the truth, then why even have the CBI? Why even have Mumbai police or whichever agency? Whoever Arnab says is guilty, you should just punish them. What is the whole big farce of having an investigation? Post already declared it in a judgment of his own. I think there's something really wrong going on. I think there's something extremely irresponsible, and the way it is going, I just feel it's going to get worse and worse if nobody talks. So request all people, I'm not going to talk about my colleagues in the film industry, you all should open your voice and speak your heart out and speak strongly about what you feel and what is correct and not. Silence cannot be accepted because silence makes everyone believe that we are guilty. Silence makes everyone believe that we know nothing. And just lastly, one thing I would like to say, I want to tell Arnab, yes, you're a journalist, it's your responsibility of whatever the functions you think you have. Fine, fair enough. I respect that, I appreciate that. But Arnab, and apart from that, I really think you should have some kind of humanity in you before you just start making wild allegations and accusations about anybody and everybody. Understand that their futures are also there. Their reputations are there. Their lives are there. All of them are going to be destroyed. What happens if tomorrow, for instance, if CBI cannot come to any different conclusion apart from the Mumbai police, that it is declared eventually as a suicide, how are you going to give all this torture back to the people who you and your fellow reporters have been doing? I'm not talking about just Republic here, I'm not talking about Arnab alone, I'm talking about all the channels who've been doing that. I think there has to be some semblance of humanity in all of you. I really appreciate if you look into your heart and before you look at people, you kind of point your fingers at people. I think you need to just look into your own heart and say, what if this happens to you? I am not asking you to get loose on anyone or just to go easy on anyone. I am not saying that. But I think you should wait. The whole point of the Constitution is that it is just always happening in a systematic process about determining who is guilty and who is not. I don't think that's being done here. I'm shocked even with someone like Kangana, who I really respected a lot. She herself, 40 days back on Arnab's show, said that I have been victimized by the media, I've been called a nymphomaniac, I've been called this, I've been called mad, insane, blah blah. And that's exactly what you are doing, Kangana, to Rhea, after this whole thing. I mean, like we all know that unless it comes to us, we won't know. It's so easy to accuse someone, okay? But tomorrow it can happen that you or me or any of us can do that. I think apart from anything else, I feel there has to be some humanity. There has to be some humanness in us before we kind of start hunting down people without any evidence and assassinate their character and make them go through torture psychologically and affect their minds forever. As much as I feel sorry for Rhea, I feel sorry for all of us, including you all.